Hello friends, welcome back once again to Easy English Explanation. So today we are going to start with the Standard 9th NCERT Beehive book, chapter number 5, The Snake and the Mirror. First video related to that, we'll do it today. So have you seen this picture? Are you seeing this picture here? A snake is looking into the mirror and combing hair. So have you ever seen a dog, cat, a cow, or any other bird or animal continuously looking at the mirror? If yes, then can you imagine what they would have thought, what the people think while looking into the mirror? So here's the story of one snake who is looking into the mirror. It's a humorous as well as dangerous story. So would you like to know about that? आज हम स्टार्ट करते हैं स्टैंडर्ड 9th बी हाइव NCERT बुक का 5th चैप्टर, उसका फर्स्ट वीडियो बना रहे हैं जिसका नाम है द स्नेक एंड द मिरर। क्या आपने कभी देखा है कि कोई बिल्ली, कुत्ता या कोई गाय या कोई मिरर देख रहा है? तो मिरर देखते वक्त, आईना देखते वक्त वो लोग क्या सोचते होंगे, कभी आपने इमेजिन किया है? तो यहाँ पे एक डेंजरस और उसके साथ ही ह्यूमरस मजाकिया स्टोरी है। तो चलिए देखते हैं। एज यूजुअल यू विल गेट लाइन टू लाइन, वर्ड टू वर्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन and the English as well as Hindi explanation. So we are going to start with this lesson. Let me read it out for you. Before that, don't forget to subscribe my channel at the earliest if you haven't still. The snake and the mirror. Before you read, do you like to look at yourself in the mirror? What do you think about at such times? Have you ever seen a dog, a cat, or a bird look into a mirror? What do you think it sees? Have you ever seen yourself yourself in the mirror? Of course, yes. We all see many times. What do you think about while looking at yourself, your image in the mirror? As well as if you have seen any time a dog, cat or a bird. क्या आपने कभी अपने आप को देखा है? हाँ, अपने आप को तो देखा ही होगा, काफ़ी बार देखा होगा, हर रोज़ देखते हैं हम लोग। पर आपने ये सोचा है कि जब एक कुत्ता, बिल्ली या कोई भी बर्ड आईना देखते हैं तो वो लोग क्या सोचते हैं? नाउ रीड दिस ह्यूमरस स्टोरी अबाउट अ doctor, a snake and a mirror. In this story there are three important things: a doctor, a snake and a mirror. Has a snake ever coiled itself round any part of your body? A full-blooded cobra. All of us fell silent. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we are discussing snakes. We were discussing snakes. We listened attentively as the doctor continued with his tale. So here one homeopath doctor, he is asking questions to the persons, his friends who may be sitting around him. Few persons are discussing, having some discussion, and now the discussion turned towards snakes. And now he asked question that has a snake ever coiled itself round any part of your body? If anybody has felt this way, anybody has had the same experience as the homeopath doctor. So all started listening to his tale. Tale means story. Tale. Okay. Homeopath is a branch of medicine which we have small sugar crystals type medicine. Okay. Yes. Let's see here. यहाँ पे एक होम्योपैथ डॉक्टर पूछ रहा है, उसके आसपास जो लोग बैठे हैं उनसे वो पूछ रहा है कि क्या आपको कभी एक स्नेक ने कॉइल किया, आपके कोई भी बॉडी पार्ट्स के आसपास लिपट गया है, ऐसे कॉइल हो गया है स्नेक? कभी ऐसा आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया है? तो सब लोग एकदम चुपचाप ध्यान से सुनने लगते हैं, वो भी एक फुल ब्लडेड, एकदम पॉइजनस कोबरा। सब एकदम ध्यान से सुनने लगते हैं जब ये स्नेक्स का टॉपिक स्टार्ट हो जाता है, और ये एक होम्योपैथिक डॉक्टर अपने आसपास के लोगों से कह रहा है. लेट्स सी अहेड. It was a hot summer night, about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. I heard a noise from above as I opened the door. The sound was a familiar one. One could say that the rats and I shared the room. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. Now, the doctor has started his story. Quite easy vocabulary for you to understand. It was a hot summer night and it was 10 o'clock timing in the night, and the author came back after having food in the restaurant. He came to his room. He came where he was living. He heard a noise as he opened the door and came in. He heard a noise from above, but that sound was familiar one. Already that sound was known to him, which he had heard before. So he knew that sound was of rats. And he said that rats and he both shared the same room, but the rats did not pay the rent. Can you believe? He took out the box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. यहाँ पे गर्मियों की एकदम गर्म रात थी, जहाँ काफ़ी गर्मी पड़ रही थी. रात के 10 बजे थे जब राइटर अपना रात का खाना यानी कि डिनर एक रेस्टोरेंट पे लेके जैसे ही वे घर लौटते हैं, उन्हें एक दरवाज़ा खोलते ही ऊपर से एक आवाज़ सुनाई देती है, जो आवाज़ उनकी परिचित है. जैसी आवाज़ें वो पहले भी काफ़ी बार सुन चुके हैं, और हमें पता चलता है कि ये आवाज़ चूहों की है. वह ये कह रहे थे कि चूहे और मैं अपना रूम शेयर करते हैं, मतलब उनके रूम में काफ़ी चूहे भी हैं. तो इसके साथ ही वह माचिस जलाकर एक मिट्टी के तेल का दिया जो कि टेबल पे रखा है उसे जलाते हैं. इससे हमें पता चलता है कि उनके घर में लाइट नहीं है और चूहे भी बहुत थे. The house was not electrified. It was a small rented room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meager. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase along with some shirts and dhotis. I also possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. So let's see some meanings here. Meager. Meager means in a very, very small quantity, means very less. Meager means very less. Solitary means single, one and only, एकमात्र. House was not electrified means that house did not have the facilities of electricity. There was no electricity in the house. It was a small rented room. A small rented room means the room was of rent. He had to pay the rent for living there. He had just set up his new medical practice, as we had already come to know that he was a homeopath doctor, and his earnings were very less and low because he had started his medical practice before some time only. The total amount he had possessed were 60 rupees. He had some shirts and dhotis to wear. He had that much clothes only, that many. And he possessed means he had one black coat. And the same coat he was wearing then. घर में बिजली की फैसिलिटी नहीं थी और वह एक छोटा सा किराए का कमरा था. उसने अभी अभी अपनी दवाई की अपने डॉक्टरी काम अभी शुरू किया था कुछ समय पहले, तो उसकी कमाई भी बहुत कम थी, मीगर थी. उसके पास सिर्फ 60 रुपये थे जो कि उसके सूटकेस में थे. 60 रुपये के साथ साथ उसके पास कुछ कमीज़ें और धोती, उसके पास कुछ शर्ट्स और धोतीस थी, और उस वक्त उसने एक ब्लैक कोट पहना हुआ था जो कि उसके पास एकमात्र कोट था. Let's see ahead. Third number paragraph. Now there is the description of the room where he was living. I took off my black coat, white shirt, and not so white vest and hung them up. I opened the two windows in the room. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. It had a tiled roof with long supporting gables that rested on the beam over the wall. There was no ceiling. I took off my black coat. Means writer took out the black coat, the white shirt, and not so white vest. Not so white vest because it may not have been washed properly. The vest means banyan, bandi, and hung them up. He just hung them somewhere on some hanger or nail or something, and he took off his clothes which he was wearing. I think only cloth he was wearing, maybe his dhoti. He must be wearing shirts and dhotis in the olden his times. Like, he opened the two windows in the room. So we come to know here that there were two windows in the room. It was an outer room in any building, we suppose, and one wall was open. It was facing the open yard. Let me show you the description here. It had a tiled roof with long supporting gables. कुछ इस तरह का कमरा था जिसकी एक दीवार एक साइड पर खुला था और उसकी सीलिंग नहीं थी. उसमें ऐसे गेबल थे. गेबल मीन्स जो ये पोर्शन है इसे गेबल कहते हैं. और गेबल ये बीम पर रेस्ट कर रहे थे. बीम पर रेस्ट, बीम के सहारे पे ये गेबल था. और यहाँ ये बीच की छत नहीं थी, सीलिंग नहीं थी. उन्होंने काफ़ी सस्ता सा कोई कमरा लिया होगा किराए पे, क्योंकि उनकी नई नई मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस चालू हुई थी और उनकी कमाई ज़्यादा नहीं थी. ओके. उसमें टाइल्ड रूफ थी और लॉन्ग सपोर्टिंग गेबल्स थे. जो गेबल ये बीम के ऊपर थे, ये गेबल, और उसमें सीलिंग नहीं थी. देयर वॉज a regular traffic of rats to and fro the beam. I made my bed, pulled it close to the wall. I lay down, but I could not sleep. I got up and went out to the veranda for a little air, but the wind god seemed to have taken time off. There was a regular traffic of rats to and from the beam. Means continuously rat used to trouble the writer and make noises and come up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down the beam. There was a regular traffic of rats. So writer made his bed, and then after making the bed, means he must have been sleeping near to the wall, and he must have been sleeping downside, not having any wooden or metallic or any other kind of bed, and he put it close to the wall, his mattress and bedsheet all. Then he tried to sleep, but he couldn't sleep. So he went out into the veranda for having a little air. As we know, it was a hot summer night, but the wind god seemed to have taken holiday, or wind god was on leave. अब राइटर ये कह रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे उनके कमरे में कंटिन्यूस चूहों का आना जाना ऊपर नीचे लगा ही रहता था. फिर राइटर ने अपना नीचे बिस्तर लगाया और उस बिस्तर को एकदम दीवार से नज़दीक सटा दिया, दीवार के पास कर दिया, और उसके बाद वह लेट गए और सोने की कोशिश करने लगे. फिर उन्हें नींद जब नहीं आई तो वह उठ के वरांडा की तरफ गए थोड़ी सी हवा खाने के लिए, पर ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कि पवन देवता, वायु देवता भी उन सब नाराज़ हैं या फिर वो कोई छुट्टी पे गए हुए हैं. So with that I end the first video here of the lesson number 5, The Snake and the Mirror, 9th Standard Beehive NCERT English First Language book. So please do take care of yourself. Do not forget to like and share my videos and subscribe my channel. Stay home and stay safe. Do not forget to wash your hands off and on. Bye bye till the time being.